What is the truth? Okay. Where do detectives sleep? Answer to that at the end of this. Nothing to do with what's going on. You're going to be detectives by the end of this week. You're going to be scientific detectives, and no, I do not smoke a cigar. When presented with a question, you can often just jump to a conclusion, and the same in science. So you can just say, oh yeah, the truth is this, you know, I perceive the truth is this. But that's not real scientific thinking. What you've got to do is break down the problem, pull it apart, and use the scientific method to really do this. So, you've got a question. A detective, me, I always wanted to be a detective, or a spy actually, has discovered a collection of animal hides. I suspect that they're stolen, and I know that one of the enzymes often used to treat hides is pepsin. At least I learnt that about half an hour ago. There are certain conditions that affect enzyme activity. So, I'm wondering, will that, me, this was a him and it became a her and I haven't changed everything, help me narrow down from where the hides have come. Can you help me? What are the conditions that lead to optimal enzyme activity? Okay, so we've got a whole lot of stuff going on there, but how do we solve this question? So we're going to really break it down. We've been given our problem, okay? So there's a problem all about animal hides and stuff. We're going to break it down into smaller components firstly, okay? Okay, there's a component. There's another component that the enzymes often use to treat hides is pepsin. There's another component that certain conditions affect enzyme activity. What are the conditions that lead to optimal enzyme activity? Okay, so what's our real problem here? Well, actually, to solve all of this blurb, all we really need to concentrate on is this, isn't it? What are the conditions that lead to optimal enzyme activity? Okay, that's our question. We want to work this out. Okay, so we're going to break it down into smaller components. Conditions. Yep, that's a component, definitely, of this question. What are conditions? Well, things like, I'm not actually going to tell you. You can think about that. What does optimal mean? What does enzyme mean? What's activity? These are all important components of this question. Then we're going to go, which components will have an impact on the solution? Okay, let's go back. Conditions. Will they have an impact on the solution of finding the optimal enzyme activity? Yeah, pretty sure they will. Okay, cool. So there's our thing. And maybe instead of enzyme I should have said pepsin, otherwise you could investigate different types of enzymes. But yeah, let's leave that in. So different types of enzymes, that would have an impact on the solution. But yeah, we're going to say it's pepsin, so we don't really have to worry about the enzyme bit. Activity, what does that mean? Okay, the rate, optimal activity, so the highest rate, okay? So the conditions are really going to have an impact on the highest rate, aren't they, okay? Which component will influence the outcome the most? Okay, so think about if you've done your pH, temperature, whatever, and you've picked out, you know, the importance of these to the problem, so pH, temperature, and what did I say? Pressure. Okay, so they're going to be really important. Now think about how which one of those is going to have the greatest impact on this, okay, and then on this, you know, because okay, so say we say pick temperature, okay, and yes, okay, we find something and we go, okay, therefore this temperature is probably where they come from. Yep, that could affect it. What about pH? Okay, so we go here, yeah, pH has an effect. pH. Well, maybe pH helps narrow it down more, because temperature might narrow it down to a really hot region or a really cold region or a really warm region, but that's a big region. But pH, well, you know, that really makes it more specific, especially if you can find a specific pH. So maybe that's the most important thing. Or pressure, again, it's a bit broad. So maybe you were thinking about, you know, pressure is pretty hard to, you know, find specific pressure. You can imagine wandering around Scotland Yard, you know, trying to work out different pressures and different situations where you have to, anyway, don't worry. So maybe pH and temperature are the things that are most important. Anyway, that's just my deconstruct. You have a go now. Deconstruct the problem. What are the conditions that lead to optimal enzyme activity? See what you come up with. You've only got a few minutes to do it. And if you do want to know the answer to that question, they sleep undercover. Yeah. Okay, have fun.